Everyone has heard probably of Gary Chapman's five love languages, but those are just ways to show love to your partner. They're not actually ways to solve problems in the relationship or anything to do with having conflicts, which are unfortunately inevitable in all close relationships. So today I wanted to talk about the three conflict languages, because if your conflict languages are not in alignment, you might have trouble solving your problems or the conflicts that you have. And for that reason, it's important to know the conflict languages. If you want to keep your relationship happy and healthy, then this is how you're going to resolve conflicts. And there's different styles to do that. And everyone gets their styles based on their upbringing, how their parents handled conflict, and a bunch of different things probably happening or that happened during your childhood. So it's not so much something that any person can control there, so much as that they can manage by sharing what those are with each other. Now, there's no test for this. This is like something that Jay Shetty recently came out with, but after watching his talk on it, I realized it's a really important skill for all relationships. And, if you don't have it yet, he did write some type of book on love recently and making it last. So it's an important skill. If you're in a relationship, you should be reading books like that, because these are life skills that we just don't get taught in school. And, if your parents weren't perfect, then likely you will struggle with the same problems that they did. So educating yourself by reading stuff that's important. I mean, he got this idea from the Gottman Society, and they did a lot of research on couples and, resolving conflict or how they interact with each other and what helps resolve conflict. So basically, knowing each other's conflict styles can help you form like an arrangement where you can find a balance between those two styles and hopefully save your relationship from unnecessary additional conflict or strife related to conflict, because like I said, all couples are going to have arguments. So knowing your individual style and sharing that with your partner, and them sharing it with you, can help you to find like a compromise that works for both of your styles so that you don't make each other worse during a conflict. So of the three conflict styles that there are, or let's call them conflict languages, first of all, there are venters. So venters need to talk about it right away. They want to solve it, and immediately they just want to have a conversation right at the outset of a conflict or a problem, to resolve the issue as soon as possible. So they're very assertive. They go straight into it without thinking about it. They just want to solve the problem by communicating, which is, I would say, healthy, unless your partner has a different conflict style from you, and then that could become an issue amongst you. I mean, because there are other conflict languages. So the second conflict language that was noted is the hider. So the hider, they're like the opposite of the venter. And they run away and they lock themselves in a room, and they have to think about it and get space to solve it on their own. They don't want to be bothered with talking to you about it until they have resolved how they feel about it and how what's going to work best for them. They go and hide. They give you the silent treatment, and it may feel like they don't want to solve the problem as a result of that, and that can cause problems if you had a different conflict style than they do. So understanding that the venter might need some time and some space, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple of days. Hopefully it's not days. Hopefully it's a shorter amount of time than that. But they need time to calm down and collect their thoughts, and so that they don't say something that they may regret saying later. So they need that time, and they're going to hide until they feel ready to communicate about it when they're more calm. Now, that can be a direct conflict if you are a venter because you're trying to talk to them while they're trying to get away from you. And it's just a very incompatible style, but Jay Shetty and his wife, they have those opposing styles, and they were able to come to like an agreement on how to handle conflicts where they gave each other enough time to hide and enough time to vent. And they came to a compromise on how to do that well because they love each other enough that they are not going to lose their relationship over different conflict styles. But the third conflict style is the exploder. They explode and they don't know how to solve it, and they want to talk, they can't talk about it. They don't go and hide. They just explode out of nowhere when something is upsetting them. And so that can seem like pretty scary probably to a lot of people who encounter it and don't see it coming. If they were a venter, they would have talked about it first before exploding. If they were a hider, they would have gone and calmed down and then talked about it calmly. But the exploder just they don't know what to do. They get overwhelmed. They get emotional, and they just blow up on everyone and shock the whole room, basically. So it's probably the scariest style there is, but it's a style nonetheless. So in order to find a healthy standard to make strategies and skills around balancing your conflict skills, sometimes you need to give a reason why you need something. You can't just say, hey, I need time and space to think about this. I mean, that's the point. I need time and space to think about this. You have to give a reason why you need that time and space, because otherwise you say, I need time and space. The other person might get anxious during that time and space that you took, and then they're thinking you don't care about the relationship and you're avoiding them and you don't like them anymore. So if you're a hider, you must communicate not only that you need it, but why you need something first. Because when someone understands the why behind your behavior, then it can be easier for them to accept it. There's less anxiety involved. So tell them why you need it, not just that you need something. If you don't tell your partner why you're not going to be present and why you need time and space, just telling them you need time or space without a reason for why you leave your partner to think it's about them. And really, they can become very anxious during that time away from you if they don't understand or if they can't connect to your why and the what. So in order to connect better, if you are a hider, you need to give your partner a reason why you need space. Don't just say, I need space, because that can be really scary to other conflict styles when you just avoid them and are quiet for hours or days. They might think that you don't care about the relationship. So just let them know why you need space, that you need time to think it over first before, give them some reasons behind it, what's going on, and let them know that when you have solved the problem on your own, at least in terms of how you feel and think about it, that you will be available to talk with them calmly about it. It's just, you're not abandoning them. You just need that time and that space in order to get your thoughts together before, so that you don't say something that you regret later or that you didn't mean. And even in terms of negotiating, maybe you spend time together, a significant amount of time together each week. And 1 week, when you would normally spend time together, your friends invite you to something and you haven't seen them for a really long time. It's fine to go out for a night with your friends, but explain to your partner why. Just don't say, I want to go out with the guys tonight, or I'm going on ladies' night during a normal date night. Give them a reason why. Tell them you haven't connected with so-and-so for so long, and, explain how it's important to you because you've been meaning to do this for too long, and this is your chance. And can we please just, push our Friday night date night aside until after this, and I'll make it up to you later in some way. Explaining the reason behind what you need in a conflict is it's gonna remove so much anxiety from the other person in the relationship, because if they don't know your why, then they're just thinking, well, maybe this person's losing interest in me, maybe they don't want to spend time with me, maybe they don't like me that much anymore, maybe something's wrong, maybe he or she is going to break up with me soon. So giving a reason why connects to what you need and why you want it, and that helps your partner understand you better, and it's less likely to cause a conflict between the two of you or to make anyone feel insecure or anxious in the relationship. So don't just say, I want blah, 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 or can I do blah, 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 or I need to do this. You give a reason why first so that they are not worrying about the relationship and understand that you have a reason for wanting whatever it is that's different from the ordinary. So that is one way to prevent conflicts and to connect better with your partner, because if you understand each other's reasons why for different behavior, then you're less likely to have conflicts about it to begin with. Love doesn't just disintegrate overnight. It wasn't just a day or one argument that led to the day where you told your partner, this just isn't working for me anymore. Love doesn't happen in a day, and falling out of love also doesn't happen in a day or a night. Love doesn't happen that way. Why would falling out of love happen that way? You either live in a world where the relationship becomes routine and it gets old and boring, or you live in a world where you're constantly discovering new things about your partner. Having new experiences with your partner keeps it fresh and exciting, and sitting at home in the same place together watching movies won't help your relationship stay exciting long term. It may be fun in the beginning, but that Netflix and chills, it's not going to keep a long-term relationship after those love hormones or chemicals, that honeymoon phase wears off. You have to keep things exciting. And how exactly do you keep things fresh in an old relationship to keep yourselves still growing rather than dying? Because remember, as in business, if it's not growing, it's dying. So the same goes for your relationships. If they're not growing, if you're not growing together, then the relationship is probably dying in some way. So it's important to do things to deepen your relationship, and one way to do that is to try something new together, rather than doing something where one of you is an expert and the other is not. So it's more like that puts you in a balanced role where you're teaching them how to do something that they may be terrible at, and it's going to be unequal, basically. I mean, not that you shouldn't teach each other new skills if you both like learning, but to keep things exciting and fresh and new in a relationship, and to keep yourselves connected and still feeling like you're learning and growing together, it's better to do things together, such as something exciting that you've both never done before, or even learning something new together. Taking a class together could be where you're both learning and struggling and growing at something that you're new at. It's a way to see a new side of your partner that you're not seeing every day if you're just hanging out at your home and doing nothing new together. If your relationship, like I said, if it's not growing, then it's probably dying. And if you're really in a routine, maybe you should do something super exciting to like give back that adrenaline rush and that excitement that you felt when the relationship was new. Like something terrifying like skydiving together. And in terms of movies, watching scary movies, taking a roller coaster ride, fairground rides, something that bungee jumping. I don't know, you name it. Like experience something that's like super exciting and adrenaline rush giving, because that's how to keep things fresh. And you will associate those like risk taking activities with your partner, which will make it feel new and fresh again. And you know, it's hard to be boring. No, it's hard to be bored when you are not boring. So, like, go do exciting, fun, new things together. Go to an escape room together. Go do something neither one of you have ever done before. Go to a travel together. Go to an amusement park. Do something, learn a new thing. Learn partner dancing, take a class together, whatever it is. This is like a wonderful way to stay connected, see something new in your partner, because no matter how long you've known them and how close you think you are, I guarantee that there is something new that you don't know about your partner. You've never seen them in that light before. And if you don't do new things together and keep what you do exciting and fresh and experience new places, learn together, then you really don't know the full them. There's literally nothing boring about your partner. There's just a lot of sides of them to discover. And like I said, if it's not growing, then it's dying. So keep your relationships fresh. Make an agreement. Every relationship should have some sort of a contract agreement about what needs to happen for both partners to feel fulfilled in that. And if there is no agreement, then for sure you're going to have a lot of conflict, because you're just assuming that they understand what's important to you when you have not ever communicated that to them. And, you know, any relationship that starts without some sort of agreement or contract among both people, remember, all relationships are agreements. So to have the least amount of conflict, you should start with an agreement that you're both on the same page with, and then go from there. And monthly meetings are important. Monthly meetings should combine not just your goals for the relationship, but your goals in the rest of your life. What are you working on? What's important to you? Because things change. People change. No one is going to be the same as they were when they were 24. And they're certainly not going to be the same as they were when they were 35. And guarantee by 40, you're a whole different person. And if you're not learning and growing with each other, and you're not having these meetings and keeping each other up to date on the most important things of your life, then the relationship will die, probably. Very likely, it's not going to go well. So keep yourselves informed, keep communication strong, and, you know, if you love that person enough, if you want your relationship to be successful and to last and to be happy and healthy, then do these things. If you don't care about them, then break up and go find someone else.